there was a thought that occurred to me, and that was Q is dying, and he's resolving a lot of things for Picard.
Mm-hmm.
He's very vested in Picard.
Yeah, he's his favorite.
He's his favorite. So perhaps would Picard become
Next Q.
the next Q?
It's time for me to go. But not alone.
I'm curious. I'd be curious how they're going to wrap this. Are they going to end the character of Picard peacefully, or is it going to end similar to how Next Generation ended, where we continue on, we keep exploring and all that fun stuff. But again, Next Generation is different because you're following a crew and kind of the ideals of the Federation.
Yeah.
While Picard, you're hyper focused on one individual.
So I'm just wondering, will he become something else and join the universe and go off into the sunset?
Into the sunset.
Yeah.
He probably will join the Borg.
You think he's gonna become back to the Borg?
Yep.
I don't want
I wouldn't like to see that. No.
The whole thing when he becomes the Cutis,
Yeah.
I feel like they've talked about it quite a bit as being, besides what was revealed in this season with his mother, the whole stuff around Locutus was obviously his other most traumatic event, being connected to this thing. And I feel like they have done a pretty good job kind of wrapping that up, especially in Star Trek First Contact. Mm-hmm. Worf and him getting into a screaming match.
If you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand.
Right? Over
yes.
we have to protect the ship. I'll sacrifice you all
Yes.
to stop these pieces of garbage.
Right.
So I think they've kind of figured that out. It would be interesting.
Would and while the episode was showing, this last episode with himself and Q, there was a thought that occurred to me, and that was Q is dying, and he's resolving a lot of things for Picard.
Mm-hmm.
He's very vested in Picard.
Yeah, he's his favorite.
He's his favorite. So perhaps would Picard become
Next Q.
the next Q?
I had the same thought as well, especially when he went up to him.
And they hugged, and it was very
yes,
not Picard, not Q. That's not their characters. Right. And you see them coming together, and then I do wonder if that's his next progression. He will become...
But Qs are... The way Q has always been explained to me is they are to a degree a god. They can do anything, move anywhere, do whatever they want. So
and influence.
I guess you could argue the fact that they could turn someone into a Q.
Right. And so I'm wondering if that's what's going to be next.
Where is Picard when it comes to Picard has no children, correct?
I do not.
He had a kid, but the kid died, or
well, the thing. If you go back to Next Generation, at one point I thought Will Crusher was his kid.
Yeah,
yes,
it was teased a little bit.
That
Crusher was
his kid because he had a thing with the Doctor in Next Generation prior to them shooting or working together on Next Generation. So it always left you wondering, was Will Crusher his kid?
Not now, Doctor.
Right.
And the fact that the cameo was dropped, maybe that will become a part of season 3, where there's something to do with these travelers.
It could be
the flow of time and everything.
It's because they brought Wesley back.
See, I always look at if you're exploring a character, I think they've done a good job of figuring out in season 1 his guilt of the present, figuring out his guilt of his past. But then
could we see that maybe Wesley is his son?
But they could
that be revealed?
They could do whatever they want, but that would be
who knows?
The logical wrap up of a character, right? Is your Next Generation, right? If he is let's say it is revealed that he is a father, and then that would make sense for the season 3 wrapping up of him then having to come to terms of he is a father. What does that mean? And completing that cycle and everything. That would, to me, would make
it kind of would make sense
to wrap the story of Picard.
That would be interesting to see.
And Tom Hardy could play it because he did it in. Well, he didn't play his son. He played a clone of Picard.
Did he?
Yeah, remember? So it was in Star Trek Nemesis, the last Next Generation movie.
Okay.
It's when Data dies.
Yes,
The Romulans get some Picard DNA and clone Picard for question mark reasons. I think that movie was wild because it's why did you clone Picard? And then you had a bald Tom Hardy, which was hilarious.
Which is hilarious.
He always plays the bad guy.
Yeah. I think so. I think for my bold prediction, I think I'm going to lean into the idea that I think it's going to be about Picard and a next generation, whether that is physically Wesley Crusher, you idiot, or, is my son, or if it is this idea of like children or influencing the next generation or something, or being like a father or prominent figure. So
Right.
I think that's how you kind of wrap the story of Picard.